call the September 17th public hearing to order. It's a public hearing for comments on ordinance 20-008, amending ordinance 19-002, Kingston Springs 2019-2020 budget. It was approved on first reading on August 2020. Would anyone like to address the commission or share their concerns on this public hearing? I don't think there is. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Ends the public hearing. We'll call to order the Board of Commission meeting for September 17th. Could everyone please rise and face the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, John, can you call the roll?
Josh Heatherly.
Here.
Tony Gross.
Here.
Mike Marcus.
Here.
Jeff Lyons.
Here.
Glenn Ripp.
Here.
We have a quorum. Do we have a motion to approve the August 20th, 2020 City Commission meeting minutes?
Motion to approve.
Do we have a second?
Second. Josh.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. We have a motion to approve the September 19th special called City Commission meeting minutes.
Motion to approve.
Do we have a second?
Second. Josh.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. All right, we have the agenda before us, and I have one addition to it on item. It's going to be actually 13A for under new business is a $500 donation to the Kingston Springs Police Department from Mr. and Mrs. H.C. Clark. So that'll be need approval from the board. So do we have a motion to approve the agenda for the September 17th meeting
As amended.
as amended?
As amended. Motion to approve.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Announcements from commissioners. Jeff? Glenn?
October 3rd, the morning of October 3rd, the Tennessee Scenic Rivers Association and the Friends of the Hartford River State Park, we're going to be doing a river cleanup in honor of Jessica Graham. This is Dale Graham's
Yes.
daughter. So that's going
Tell
on.
me that date one more time.
October 3rd, the morning of.
And it's going to start down at the...
Start at the park. Tennessee Scenic Rivers Association has created an event for that. I'm not sure the time right off the top of my head.
Okay.
Foggy Bottom will be assisting with canoes and taking care of trash and all. There'll be other future events happening with other organizations, but to honor Jessica Graham.
That's excellent. Jeff? Or is that Josh? Mike? All right, we can move on then. Do we have any community input or concerns? If you'd like to address the commission, step forward to the podium, state your name and address, and you're free to speak. Todd says no, so I guess that would be the only one for community input. All right, department reports. You all had a chance to read through the packet, but is there anything you'd like to add, John?
Yes, sir. I've got a couple of things, and then Brandy has a couple of things. I've got the Tennessee CARES Act. Tennessee CARES Act is from the state of Tennessee that allocates funding to the municipalities in the state that have used funding that was not budgeted for COVID-19 expenses. Town of Kingston Springs has $41,235 available to them, but those there are some specific guidelines, of course, and categories that need to be done before we can submit. We've submitted $3,800 in expenses that I think have been approved and should be over to us. That reimbursement should be to us soon, and we've got about $1,200 that we've gathered the receipts and ready to submit. So we'll try to recoup some of that cash as we can. The other thing that I've got is bid notice for the multimodal project has been published. You probably see it in the Advocate this week and also on TDOT's website. And the bid opening is October 13th at 2 p.m. here in the meeting hall. And then I believe Brandy has a couple of other things about some upcoming events.
Okay, as for soccer, we only got about 50% of the numbers we needed to have season. The biggest number was, of course, in our middle age group, but it's because it's for almost, it's 6, 7, 8-year-olds, so it's a little larger than the other two. But we still didn't get enough. So I do have coaches in every age group that are willing to donate their time to come down and do a pickup, drills, just kind of get the kids out of the house and follow the guidelines, but do, you know, a kind of a drill practice type situation and have a game, scrimmage, pickup, whatever you want to call it, at some point. So I'm meeting with them Monday night to kind of come up with a concrete plan. I emailed the parents today and told them, you know, that was what we're working towards. I only had, I think the biggest majority of the kids are going to be your U9 and U12. I only had about 13 kids in the smallest age group. So we're gonna try to do something to get them back out there, but it puts a lot of responsibility on the coaches, and I didn't have a lot of them that were willing to do that. But we are going to do it no charge. You know, it's just going to be more of a volunteer.
Like here's a field and here's some an activity for your kids.
However, we're going to still kind of, we're still going to require them to fill out the form every week when they bring their kid. I mean, it's going to be a little organized, but not a true season. We're not going to get uniforms. It's not going to be a scheduled games situation, but we're going to try to get them back out there. So.
Will the parks be putting the goals back up soon?
They were put up today.
They were put up today? Excellent.
So yes.
That is a different.
We only put up one on the little and the middle fields. We put up both big goals, so, I mean, all 4 big goals. So there's at least one set of goals on each field right now. So, as I said, I meet with them Monday night, and we're going to come up with some kind of plan to try to get kids back out there with the parents that want to do it. So,
Very good.
I think our numbers were right at 67, and we needed 132,
134, I think.
something like that. So.
Chief, you have something?
Just real quick, couple of things. Number one, I hope that y'all will accept the donation from the police department, and we can get that put into the police budget. We could use that equipping a couple of more vehicles. Also, I don't know if y'all had a chance to see the truck that's been striped, and hopefully that looks okay with everybody. The striping is reflective, all reflective. Jeremy has a pickup that should be in pretty much any day, and it will be striped the same way. And then I have a pickup that's here waiting on the equipment, and that'll be the only one still that won't be striped. But hopefully y'all have had a chance to look at it. Tiffany, she's got my old pickup. That's the one that's striped. She's loved it. Says it's the best patrol vehicle she's ever used. And if she gets by here tonight when we get out, I'd like y'all to take a look at how much room is in there, because once we put the prisoner partition, it actually has more room than any other vehicle we've ever used.
Wow.
It's really impressive. I mean, I'm not a small guy, and the seat's all the way back up front, and I can sit in the back, and my knees are still that far away from the partition, which is just unheard of in the other vehicles. So
The red Ford truck?
Red Ford should be going. They're supposed to be delivering Jeremy's, and I'm not sure the details. I'll have to get with him. If we're carrying that truck to Memphis, or if they're picking it up and they deliver his, but it should be the topper ships Monday. That's the last thing they was waiting on. All the other equipment's in, and it's just been a real challenge with everything going on. The equipment's taken forever. I mean, Jeremy literally has been ordered since April. So, it's just taking a while on the equipment.
All right, a
There
couple
were
more
more
things.
bids,
I
yeah.
got more. National Night Out is an event we did last year,
Yeah.
and Chief Ivy can talk to that. It's for first responders. We did it over here last year, and we had a huge turnout. This year, it was originally scheduled for August 6th, I believe, or something like that, and they postponed it until October 6th.
October 6th.
Something like that. Okay, and so we're still going to do that. We've talked to Martha Brooke. We have a lot of things we have to accomplish to be able to do it. But we're still going to do National Night Out on October 6th. That focuses on first responders, SWAT, police, fire. And to play off of that, we have decided to do a drive-in movie on October 9th, which is Friday night. And it's the movie, I can't talk. The movie is called, oh, I can't think.
John Cena.
It's got John Cena in it, and it's about firefighting. Basically, he rescues these kids out of a fire.
Spoiler alert.
We don't know the storyline yet.
Anyways, it's about firemen. And it plays into the whole National Night Out. So we have rented the equipment. It'll have an FM transmitter. It's not gonna be at City Park, it's gonna be at Burns. We're gonna do the emergency Tuesday night at Burns, and then Friday night will be the drive-in movie. We have rented the equipment to have a big screen and do the whole FM transmitting so everybody can be a part of that. So we're going to do that October 6th and October 9th.
So it'll be limited, the parking spots.
Well, the parking spots at Burns are going to be limited.
Yeah.
You know, the first 2 rows are going to be for equipment, so
I'm estimating we could get at least 40, if not 50 cars in there.
The only reason I brought it up, are you gonna do like pre-register, or is it first come,
no,
first
it'll be
served?
kind of first come, first serve, and that's something that Bubba and I we're going to
I
have
was just
to.
thinking about backing people up.
It'll back up. And Bubba Parker and I have sat today for quite a while and tried to plan it all out. So
It'd probably be a good turnout.
I think it will be. Of course, you know, everybody right now is itching to do something, and as long as they're in their cars, we can pretty much fill up. That lot holds, I think, 81 cars. So I'm hoping we can get 50, at least 50 in. So,
You will.
huh?
Oh yeah, you're gonna fill it up.
Yeah.
Sure.
So the playground will be open too.
Yes, we're trying to come up with a couple of other ideas that we can have stuff, but that's all pending what we can and can't do. We're trying to figure that out.
You can't have hot dogs.
We can't have
That's
popcorn.
pretty disappointing.
Can't have popcorn.
Yeah, no food.
No bouncy house.
There'll be Mountain Dew.
And then during that week also, just so you guys know, and so it doesn't, we are going to hopefully start taking apart some Easter eggs and making goodie bags for all the kids that come in, give out some of that Easter candy that we didn't get to use and stuff like that. And then October 17th, and we kind of talked to you before, since we've postponed Art in the Park, we're going to have, what are we calling it, John? The Harvest Festival, Market and Crafts. And we are going to have probably 40-ish vendors. And I'm telling you right now, we have way more than that want to do it. Kind of just a larger farmer's market, but not an Art in the Park on October 17th. So, and as I said, we have a huge amount of people that want to do that. So we're just kind of waiting on guidelines on how to make that happen.
We got the application back from Arthur Brook today, so that's taken care of. We gave our market vendors first shot at a booth space.
And then we reached out to the Art in the Park
14
vendors
from
after
the-
that.
Yeah, 13 or 14 from the farmer's market are wanting to do it, and then we'll fill the rest up fairly quickly.
And what date was that?
October 17th.
Saturday from 10 to 2.
Yeah, from 10 to 2 at Burns Park.
We'll have
Well, pretty
electric food trucks.
We'll pretty much utilize the Art in the Park space, but we'll space everybody out. Normally we have about 80 to 90 vendors, so we figure we can just skip a booth and kind of just spread everybody out in that same direction, hopefully.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Do you have an update on splash pad? What all does it need? Is it working okay? Is it,
Yes, sir. It's worked fine until we closed it.
Right. So it's
Yes.
not there's no mechanical problems with it or anything like that?
No, sir.
Okay.
All right. Is that
October.
all for department?
Pardon?
It's busy October.
Yeah.
We did.
Well, just so you know, we are planning on doing the Christmas parade
If at
Tractor
all
frame?
possible, yes.
If
The
possible,
tractor frame.
if
Because
it's
my dad has
allowed.
tractors that he wants. We actually was going to sell his tractor, his antique tractor that he rebuilt, and we made him hold on to it so he could ride it.
Well, we're hoping to be able to do that. It is definitely on the calendar.
What is the crowd control? Because that's a
That was
people on top of each other. What is
Yeah, and that's
what's
we're not sure.
We're not
have to
sure.
wait and see
We don't know what
How it
that's
is.
gonna look like.
See how it is.
Yeah, a lot of the guidelines are getting ready to expire, so I think
Right.
until we get a new order from the governor.
I guess we just look at, you gotta leave the stuff on the books until we
Yeah.
can't do it, so.
One thing we ought to rethink is the throwing of the candy off the floats.
Yeah, I'm sure there will be
Yes, that's-
different guidelines this year.
Right, and I'm not concerned about COVID as much as just the mess it makes. I mean, it doesn't, it goes down the sewer drains, it's hauling the yards. I mean, it's, the kids get some of it, but they tend to dart out around those orange cones to get at it. So if we want to give them candy, I'm cool with that. Just put maybe some of the businesses or people donate candy, let them go get it at the station if we want to do that. I mean, I don't know if that violates code or not, but. Huh?
Probably won't even be able to hand it out.
And that is one of the things that when we debriefed after last year's parade, that is one of the things we decided to change, so the floats won't be throwing candy, for sure.
All right, very good. Are there any additional department reports, or we move on to legal?
A couple of things to kind of follow up on that. Governor Lee did make a statement today, I don't know if anybody saw it, but basically it was at Metro, but encouraging them to open back up. And it's an interesting article if y'all have not read it, but so I do think based upon that he will give us some more guidelines and allow us to open up more when it gets closer to the holidays.
And I think Metro even did expand their opening some as of like beginning of October 1st. I think they're expanding everything quite a bit.
Yeah, to phase 3.
Phase 3, yeah.
Due to some emails.
I saw his announcement about Titan fans at 10% of capacity. I saw that.
Yeah, I know they're gonna open the stadium back up.
That's after October 1, October 4th.
Allegedly, there was only 22 positive cases of COVID in bars and restaurants in Nashville.
Interesting times.
All right.
On another quick note.
One more.
So the legislature did pass the limited liability due to COVID, and it applies to the city. And so basically it takes our governmental tort liability and opens it up a little bit further. It says that in order to pursue a case and to be successful, that you have to show gross negligence or willful conduct on the behalf of an employee or an employer. It also requires that you have to have a position statement that supports that as well. So that's going to make it extremely difficult for a plaintiff to be able to pursue an action against the city and be able to recoup that. If they cannot meet that criteria, then the case is automatically dismissed with prejudice. So we keep them from refiling. So it puts the huge burden on the plaintiff, and I think it would be very difficult to prove exactly that it was maliciousness or that person had common knowledge and that they came up and sneezed on you on purpose or something. So I think it's going to be very difficult. So it does give the city protection that we were looking for. To City Hall or whatever. So that is definitely a good thing on behalf of the city. And I think that expires. It doesn't expire, I don't think, until 2022 sometime.
Is it just pertain to COVID or any?
It's COVID only. And it's good through July 1st, 2022. And it's not per se retroactive. It kind of skirts around that issue, but I think it for the most part, is retroactive. So if we had something, that goes back to when this all first started back in March. So it's definitely good there for the city.
All right. And that's all for legal?
That's it.
Okay. We'll move on to unfinished business then. Item A is a motion to approve on second reading ordinance 20-008, amending ordinance 19-002, Kingston Springs 2019-2020 budget. We have a motion to approve ordinance 20-008 on second.
I'll make a motion we approve Mike Argus.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Tom, could you call the roll?
Josh Heatherly,
Yes.
Tony Gross,
Yes.
Mike Hargis,
Yes.
Jeff Lorenz,
Yes.
Glenn Ritter.
Yes.
Motion passes. Item B is discussion of city attorney fee schedule.
This was in old business, as you will remember, it was initially discussed at last month's meeting, and it involved proposed new attorney fees to the town of an hourly rate of $200 an hour, up from $175 an hour, and an increase to the joint rate when both attorneys are working on the same project, from $125 to $175. However, after we reviewed the minutes and the video from the meeting last month, the motion that was made and passed reflected only the hourly rate of $200 an hour and did not capture the increase of the joint rate that was requested. So this item is being revisited to discuss and cover the joint rate as well.
All right, well, what's the thoughts from the board on the joint rate? I think that the intent the last time was to go ahead and accept that, if I recall correctly, so.
That's my understanding.
Then do we have a motion?
Motion to approve the
Joint rate.
the joint rate attorney fee schedule.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, motion passes. Okay, on new business, we actually have one item, and it is a very generous donation from Mr. and Mrs. Clark of $500 to help with our police department. Do we have a and of course, we have to approve this as a board as a donation. Do we have a motion to accept the donation?
Motion to accept the donation. Thank you.
Second, Josh.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion passes, and thank you very much to the Clarks if you've watched the video. All right, we have nothing for surplus. I don't believe we have anything else for discussion. There are actually, well, I guess the reminders would be that we already discussed that. We have the upcoming events in October with the
See bullet point 10.
yeah, exactly. Go back up to 10 there. We have the National Night Out on the 6th.
Yes, drive-in movie on the 9th.
Movie on the 9th and
Market on
the
the
modified
17th.
event on the 17th. All right, well, with that, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.